Welcome back to my channel. It's great to see you all again. Today's topic might be a bit grave, but bear with me as we dive into the history of postmortem photography. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, the genre of postmortem photography was a relatively common practice. People had a much different relationship with death at that time than we do today. For many families, death was seen as a natural part of life and something that should be celebrated and remembered. In contrast to what we're familiar with today, people of that era had different ways of coping with loss. Postmortem photography was one of the ways that people coped with death. These photographs were taken shortly after a person had passed away. They were often the only memento that families had of their loved ones and were cherished for their sentimental value. While postmortem photography may seem strange to us today, it was an essential part of mourning culture for many during that era. It was not uncommon for families to display these photographs in their homes to remember their loved ones. The deceased may be posed in a lifelike position or simply laid out in a coffin. Sometimes family members would even join in on the photo. Another fact that may surprise you is the practice of painting eyes onto the final print. This was an attempt to make the deceased appear more lifelike, and it happened decades before the Knoll brothers even conceived of Photoshop. The mechanical constraints of early cameras limited the speed at which the shutter could operate. Controlled by a series of gears and springs, these early cameras typically had shutter speeds ranging from 1/10 to 1/50th of a second. As a result, in cases where people posed with the deceased, it wasn't uncommon for the deceased to be much sharper as they were the only ones that could stay perfectly still for the photograph. Nowadays, we might find postmortem photography to be a bit dead. It's a reminder that death is a natural part of life and that different cultures have different ways of coping. And that's it for today's video. I hope I didn't make you too stiff with my humor. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.